You know, there's this silvery white, super reactive metal that's pretty much become the lifeblood of our modern world. It's called lithium.
Yeah, you're literally interacting with it this very second. Lithium is the magic ingredient inside the rechargeable battery that's powering the screen you're looking at right now. The reason it's everywhere is because it's incredibly light, but can hold a massive amount of energy. That's what makes all our portable gadgets possible, making it this invisible but totally vital part of our daily lives. And it goes way beyond just your phone or laptop. I mean, lithium is basically the engine of our entire rechargeable world. It powers everything from our everyday electronics to the electric vehicles changing our roads. It's even used in some pharmaceuticals. This stuff has truly become a cornerstone of the global economy.
But all this amazing convenience, it kind of makes you wonder, right? As our demand for lithium just keeps going up and up, what's the real price we're paying for all this progress? That's exactly what we're going to dig into.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about the first major cost, the deep environmental scars this whole process leaves behind. This is the price the planet itself is paying.
So how do we even get this stuff? Well, there are basically two main ways. The first is called brine evaporation. You pump this salty, mineral-rich water up from underground into these huge ponds and just let the sun do the work. The water evaporates and the lithium gets left behind. The other method is hard rock mining, literally blasting and crushing massive rock formations to get the ore. And as we're about to see, both of these paths come with some serious consequences.
You might see pictures of those brine ponds and think they look kind of peaceful, right? But the reality is, they use up enormous amounts of water. They deplete local water sources that entire communities and ecosystems depend on. This causes habitat loss, and what's worse, as the water evaporates, toxic heavy metals like cadmium and arsenic can be released into the air. For people living nearby, this can lead to devastating health problems, including cancer. And then you've got hard rock mining, which is, well, it's an incredibly messy process. It creates these huge piles of hazardous waste, which can then leach nasty stuff like arsenic and lead straight into the soil and water. The air gets polluted with dust and chemicals, including really harsh stuff like sulfuric acid. Look, the bottom line here is that there's just no perfectly clean way to get this metal out of the ground. So we've talked about the damage to the environment, but that's not the whole story. There's also a profound human cost, a price paid by the miners and the communities caught in the middle of all this.
Just try to picture the daily reality for one of these miners for a second. You're working with heavy machinery, maybe underground or on shaky ground. You're constantly breathing in toxic dust, and you're dealing with extreme heat and humidity. It's this dangerous cocktail that leads to a whole cascade of health risks, from chronic lung diseases to life-threatening accidents and heat stroke.
And you know what makes this whole situation just tragic? So much of this is completely preventable. The source material points out that there's often a serious lack of basic safety equipment and proper training, and that negligence turns an already dangerous job into a deadly one, leading to accidents and deaths that just shouldn't happen. So why does this keep happening? Well, a lot of these lithium mines are set up in really remote places, far away from any real government oversight. This creates a perfect storm for exploitation. It allows for poor working conditions and really low wages for incredibly difficult, dangerous work, all of it fueled by our endless demand for the next new gadget. So, when we pull back and look at the big picture, what is the true price of all this power we hold in our hands? It really comes down to weighing the incredible benefits we get from lithium against the heavy, heavy burdens it places on our planet and on people.
This table really lays it all out, doesn't it? We're talking about environmental risks like poisoned ecosystems, health risks for communities, and major safety risks for workers that can lead to injury and even death. It's a really stark reminder of the hidden trade-offs behind the technology we use every single day.
And all of this leaves us with a really big, important question. We all get to enjoy this amazing technology, but how do we balance our desire for progress with the well-being of the people and the planet that make it all possible? It's a complex issue for sure, and definitely something to think about the next time you plug in your device. What's our role in all of this, and how can we push for a more sustainable future?